Hello students, welcome to Crack Grade B online learning platform. Today we have special guest with us, Mr. Akshay. He has cracked RBI Grade B 2019 exam in his first attempt. First of all, congratulations to you, Mr. Akshay, for this great
Thank
achievement.
you.
And
Thank you.
we would like to tell you about the brief profile of Mr. Akshay. He has done his graduation in economics from Delhi University, Delhi College of Arts and Commerce, and he is he has done certification in CFA level 2 and FRM. So it was his first attempt. So we will not take much time, and he will tell his journey to this success.
First of all, I'd like to thank you for definitely for the guidance that you've given, and we'll talk phase wise. I think that's
Yeah.
better for the aspirants also, right? So
Yes.
for phase one, definitely. So since this was my first government exam, any government exam that I've ever taken, before this, there were majorly certifications and other exams that I've taken. So it was a very new thing for me. There are a lot of people who take these exams over the course of many years and they have strategies and all that. So I was a newcomer to this. I did know about the fact that the phase one is the biggest filter for this exam. I mean, if the information that we got for the number of candidates was, I think, around the general stream, there were somewhere around 34,000 candidates who had taken the phase one exam for RBI Grade B DR, and I think there were around 2,000 that went ahead, 2,000 odd 1,800 that went ahead to the second phase.
Actually, that ratio was decreased this year. But previously, 1:20 students were
Yeah,
admitted to
yeah,
phase two, but this time the
yes.
ratio was decreased by RBI. So competition is very tough.
Yeah, exactly. So that was, I mean, obviously you get to know these numbers post the exam. Once you're done with the exam, then you get to know that. But I already knew that the ratio was very not in the favor of the candidates. So I gave a lot of effort in phase one for sure. That the aim was that I have to somehow get through phase one, and for that I would suggest that like current affairs is the key definitely, because
Yeah.
even if someone is not very good in any of the other three, like logical reasoning, English, and quant, if they're not very good in that, still by getting familiar with current affairs, you can pull it off easily, because solving current affairs takes less amount of time. So that was one main target, that current affairs definitely have to be there. And for the other three, I would say that to manage the time, because this time I think RBI went ahead with sectional timings.
Yes,
For
it was the
for
first
the
time.
first time they went ahead with sectional timings. So they that was, I mean, that was beneficial also in a certain way, that you are restricted. Okay, आपको इतने time में ही सारा खत्म करना है. So that was fine. So, but for the practice of English, quant, and LR, it is definitely only mocks. They are the only thing that can help you. Howsoever much you might practice questions independently. जैसे आप बिना clock के, if you're sitting down and solving questions, that is good for the concept stage, but it will not help you when the clock is running, because that is when people actually get very nervous in the exam. Also, if you get stuck at a question and you just start losing out time, then people tend to panic. So to get over that, the only way is that you have to solve a lot of mocks. Get
Yes.
hold of as many mocks as possible and solve them.
Yeah, one
Yeah,
major
and
question.
and actually,
Yeah, one
yeah,
major
yeah.
question
Please go ahead.
for mainly the aspirants who are preparing. They always ask that
Yeah,
how many months current affair they must prepare. Actually, there are different
yeah,
answers. So it
yeah,
was
yeah.
your first attempt, so you can tell the aspirants then what were the sources for the phase one current affairs.
Yes. So for the mainly, I refer to, there's a website called Affairs Cloud, which gives out a monthly and topic-wise weekly PDF. So I referred strictly to that. That was my go-to thing for that, because their coverage is also pretty extensive
Yeah.
in terms of the banking, because this was the first banking exam I had also taken. So I considered the coverage to be pretty good enough. There is no masala in the current affairs. It is pure news and the pure happenings of what is going on. So that is one thing I relied on. And for the number of months, I would say that at least uh, you have to be good with the at least 3 to 4 months prior to the exam, and if you can push it back to like 4, 5 months, 6 months also, that is good. Because again, because the exam is very unpredictable, you don't want to, just miss out on that 1 mark, because you could have glanced over a current affair. So it's
But
short 3 months and move back. Yeah.
yeah, but maximum questions, 80-90% questions are from last 2 months, and few questions are from third month, and
Yeah.
very few questions from later than these 3 months,
Yeah.
as per our
So actually,
experience.
why? Yeah. So why I'm actually saying that is because once you do the current affairs of the current affairs is not a thing that it'll just help in phase one. If you have read some news of the economy and banking and finance sector, which has been going on for the past 6 months,
Yeah.
so that will help you even in phase two also, because phase two has those 1 markers which can, it's like a make or break for the phase two also. So there is actually no harm in at least going to the finance, banking, and economy portion of your past 6 months to even 9 months of the previous listing, because phase two will require that for you to do that.
Yeah, then other parts like quant and reasoning
Yeah.
and English. What was your strategy for
Right.
this? You followed any
So
shows?
yeah. So I actually the strategy which I found useful is that first of all you have to judge that where do you stand in terms of how good you are in quant, LR, and English. So because these are just qualifying part of it. You don't have to prove how many marks. You don't have to prove anything by getting very high marks in this. You just have to clear the cutoffs and try to manage that. So my strong point was definitely English. So I didn't have much of a problem with English, because I earlier on I had after my graduation I had prepared for CAT and all CAT exam also. So there's no big issue with English. Definitely, logical reasoning and quant is a bit tricky, because the maths portion, the quant portion, over the previous years had very discouraging cutoffs. Like there were there were 4 marks or 5 marks or something like that people. So maths used to go very tough earlier on. Yeah.
Actually, that is also a myth among the aspirants. Actually, in
Okay.
2017, the quant level was very tough. It means
Yeah.
toughest in the RBI history. After that,
Yeah.
it is
Yeah. Yeah.
general questions are being asked, normal level like IBPS, Clerk or
Yeah.
PO exams.
Right.
After that, it is not.
Right.
Only
Right.
the 1 year, that was 2017. I means
Yeah. Yeah.
English section was also the toughest in that year. So that is
Right.
also a myth among the aspirants. They are afraid
No,
of
I
quant
can.
specifically.
Yeah, exactly. So that is one thing. There's no point in being afraid. See, the thing is that to judge your own level, as I said again, that mocks are the only thing that can help. See, if the centers that are making the mocks and the platforms that are helping with the mocks, they generally would be studying the trend also. So
Yeah.
it is better to work with the mocks to just get an idea how it works out.
So any suggestion for the mock test to the future aspirants?
Um, just suggestion. I mean, I think if you're asking me which mocks I took exactly, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, I think practice mock was one thing which gave a little bit of a confidence to the aspirants. Practice mock was good, and even olive board is good. But the thing is that sometimes olive board goes above the head. It gets a little discouraging for people because they
Level
start
is very
asking
tough.
very very twisted questions. So then people start, questioning their own preparation. That why, am I prepared to the level of the exam or not? So definitely, exam this time came very below the level of olive board, or I mean, it was almost there, similar with practice mock.
Yeah, okay. And for English, any special preparation or any, there are
Um,
students usually ask this question, what newspaper they
yeah.
should follow for the English or not?
See, I for the past I think 1.5 years I have carried on with the subscription of Business Standard.
Okay.
Business Standard is this thing that I mean I used to get the physical copy. So Business Standard is one thing I read throughout my preparation, because and not every minute detail of the paper, but most related, because banking industry is definitely present in Business Standard. Economics is there, so if you can read it, once you get the flow of reading it, also your English is somehow getting helped as well. Your English is improving alongside.
Okay, okay. And any special suggestion for this phase one to the future aspirant? What should they do? And
Yeah.
even what
Right.
mistake
I would,
you?
sir, I would definitely say that. I mean, so I would say reflecting on my own way of how I did, I thought that I gave a little too much time to phase one. Because again, the fact of you put in a lot of effort and you don't want to get eliminated in the first phase itself. So there has, I would say that if people have found their strength in phase one, do go ahead. I mean, give all the importance to it, but do not lose sight of phase two also. You have to balance it out as you get towards as you approach closer to the phase one exam date. Definitely go ahead and focus solely on phase one, because your
Yeah,
speed has to be very good.
yeah,
you know and obviously for any exam there it's very different, like sitting in the comfort of your own home versus going there, and some they're very far flung areas. Your people travel also to different centers, because in case the centers of RBI also are in very limited places. They are in mostly, I think, major centers, major cities only host them, so you have to travel and all of that, so that just adds up to the pressure of the students.
yes, yes.
Yeah,
And also that gap is in phase one and phase two is very less. So mostly
yeah,
students
yeah,
start
exactly.
preparation
Yes,
with the phase one. Okay,
right,
okay.
right.
So that was this was for the phase one, and now comes to the phase two. So phase
Yes,
two, that first paper like ESI and finance management and English. So
yes,
ESI, most of the questions are being asked from the future aspirants for the ESI paper,
yes,
specifically schemes and current affair, because
right,
paper
right.
is very means factual based questions are being asked, data.
Yes, yes.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
So I think when I started the preparation, there's a certain blog, I don't remember exactly, but there was a strategy given by someone which said that the two documents that you do need to know for your ESI this thing are the economic survey and the budget. So I think all the aspirants, even for in my own batch, and when we interacted over various chat groups and all that, everyone was very focused on these two documents. And it's not just about, and I think they did ask a particular factual number also, which with respect to the economic survey or budget in phase two, it was definitely there as a one marker. I remember that. So yes, I mean, but the thing is that you can't memorize all these. You have to memorize the major numbers. You cannot go deep diving into the numbers of the Indian economy, because I mean, we are all normal human beings. It's not possible to store that much of information over a period of time. So I wouldn't say that don't deep dive into the numbers, but do have a conceptual idea. Rather than just the percentage, you need to know what is the percentage there, what is it representing, and that is very important.
yeah, actually that is also the one important point, that in like economic survey there are
Yeah,
lot of data, but questions are
yeah,
being asked are very specific, like GDP percentage.
yeah,
Not
yeah,
everything they
yeah.
are asking, so students start mugging everything, like every
No, no,
whatever
no.
is given.
Yeah,
So I will suggest also that questions are very specific, and pattern is also specific. If you see the previous
yeah,
year papers, if you analyze the
yeah.
previous year paper, so questions are very
Right,
yeah.
right. Yeah, so definitely, as I said, that you don't want to go into all the data points, and it is more important for if there's someone who is completely new to the field, like if they've never studied economics, finance, banking, anything like that. It is always better to Google the terms. Let's say economic survey gives you a particular term of the revenue deficit or specific revenue deficit and all of that that's there. So you want to Google these terms. If there's any term related to the bond market or money market or the financial sector in general, you want to Google and know these terms, because that is much more helpful in that way.
Even RBI website can help in a lot.
Oh, definitely. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
there are
RBI
many
website
terms
is
given on the
and is
website
very
also.
extensive. It is very, very extensive. Yes.
Yeah. So how many months current affair for ESI, and what are the shows for the government schemes you will suggest to the student? How should they
Yes.
prepare for the government schemes?
As the content for the government schemes is, there are a lot of providers that are available out there. So rather than, I'd suggest to the aspirants that rather than running around collecting sources and collecting PDFs, please focus on one source, maybe maybe one or max two sources, and revise those. You know, go understand the schemes, try to memorize. You will have to memorize some details also, because it's not that just just by having an overview of the schemes, because there are so many overlapping details, confusion. There's a lot of confusion that happens. You know, this scheme is targeting this and this is happening in that. So definitely that, one or two sources, and you have to revise that. So
Yeah.
it helps.
Actually,
Don't,
yeah.
yeah.
Actually, questions on
Oh
the
yeah.
schemes are being asked in depth only. So a lot of data they
Yeah,
used to
yeah,
ask, and
exactly.
pattern is a little
Yes,
bit different from UPSC.
yes, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would say is that even the major programs in India, that the major, the socialistic development programs which run through the screens, like, you got your Manrega, you've got all the major schemes that are there, which have been highlighted. They get highlighted every year. Like let's say something like Manrega has a budget allocation every year, which is there given in our union budget. So something like that is highlighted always. So it's good to have that also in mind.
Yeah. And some students also ask this question that old schemes, how many old years they should cover? Means old schemes, some past 10 years, 15 years. So
Yeah.
what would you like to suggest on this? And how did you prepare for these old schemes?
So again, I actually took up, as I said, that one or two sources that I took up for that, and even PIB is a good source for that, because that is direct source of information that you get. So apart from that, I would suggest that don't the I think what happened is in the exam also, that they say that the scheme that gets mentioned in the past, like even if it's an old scheme and it has gotten mentioned over the past, let's say 11 months also somewhere, it has gotten mentioned. So then that scheme sort of has to get into your syllabus. You know, because it is, again, as you would also know, that there are endless number of schemes, and you can, since the
Yeah.
time that's there, so it's not possible to do all of them. But I would suggest that yes, try to definitely do those schemes that have been in discussion over the past previous year, or they've been modified, or they've been changed the
Yes.
names and all that.
Yes, main actually that we have done the analysis that previous year papers and schemes. Actually, that old schemes they used to ask which have been modified or merged. I mean, means they are linked to the currently existing schemes.
Right, right, yes. So yeah, that is for the scheme, and the schemes can be very challenging. I mean, it gets very, when once you have those PDFs with you, and people keep on looking at those PDFs, so it gets very this thing ki bahut zyada padhna hai yaar. There is too much of this thing, and it won't stay in your head. So sometimes I think the key would be to just revise. You'll have to revise sooner or later.
Yeah, and one more thing that for the scheme, some students ask this question to us. The schemes of all ministry they have to do, or some specific ministry, or anything you would like to suggest?
So, that's why I'm saying that even they can, I think, because economics and social issues is such a wide topic, that it is very difficult to pick and choose. Because, I think I remembered in 2019, PM Awas Yojana was a very big thing that was almost every alternate week that was there in the news channels. It was there, it was under discussion, the government was promoting it, modifying it, giving various details about it. So that is what I'm saying. Then I would say that is the in the face kind of information. कि आपको ये तो बिल्कुल सामने सामने हो रहा है कि अभी इकोनॉमी में चल रहा है, so you need to know that. But then if there is something which has been, or for that matter, let's say there is something in the fisheries sector which has been newly started or newly announced in the union budget, it
Yes.
can be asked to have to know that. There is, again, because that's how it becomes very broad based. Yeah.
So now come to the finance and management part. So finance and management also students have many myths, like
Like,
what they should follow all the RBI circulars, what should they follow on RBI website, FAQ section. And also
Mhm.
the freshers or non-financial background students have questions and have some myth in their mind that it is very
Yeah,
difficult for them. So what would
yeah.
you like to suggest? How should they approach, means specifically non-financial background students?
Yes. So again, it's maybe in the batch that we've seen with the students who have gotten selected, it's a very mixed bag. I think a lot of them are not from the finance background. I mean, a lot of them are engineers also who've been working in different industries. Like I think there was some guy who was in petroleum, who was there in automotive. So they've been, it's a very mixed bag. So everyone has, I think, made the effort to first of all understand, because in the finance thing, you can't just memorize everything. Yes, there are certain parts of finance in day to day, like RBI notifications or finance ministry is taking certain decisions. So all of that becomes the factual part of it. The conceptual part of it is, you have to know the bond market basics, or how the interest rates would affect something like that. So you need to know all those conceptual things baseline. And for that, I would suggest that to, I think there is one particular book for finance. There's a, I think it's called Mishra or something like that. Mishra, forget me, I
Misra
think.
Puri.
There, I think
Misra and
there's a
Puri.
particular book which is talked about quite a lot. That see, I didn't particularly, as I told you, I had a different kind of a background. I have worked for, I think, almost close to 2 to 3 years in the finance and financial services sector, and I've been in touch with the certifications, and my graduation is like that. So for me, it was kind of a different approach, because for me the conceptual part was, I didn't have to do that again. Yeah. So for the people who are completely new to it, do start off with the basics. Like let's say RBI circulars are there. RBI said about details. Like let's say something like a long-term repo operation, right? So it's okay. You understood that, okay, what a long-term repo operation is, but what is the effect of a long-term repo operation? For you to understand that, you will have to Google it.
Yeah.
Somehow understand it, how the interest rate or how the bond buying is going to move the industry. That is what I'm trying to say, that for finance specifically, that is the strategy. Use the internet, understand the concepts and basics for yourself, and keep the factual knowledge also with you. Any in because I think banking sector also gets mixed in the finance questions. There's certain questions from the banking sector that were also asked. Yeah, they're factual questions.
Yeah. And for numerical parts, what did you refer? How did you prepare for that?
So numericals again, I had seen very basic questions, because that we were aware of the fact that numericals have sort of been discontinued in the exam. They are not being asked as such now. And even if,
Yeah, since
I mean, rather
2008.
they yeah, they would rather ask the concept behind the numerical than give you the numbers and ask you to solve it. So
Yeah.
the concept is other focus करेंगे. So that is there, and that is pretty much it about finance. Management का तो I think everyone has to do those theories. There are set theories. Management hasn't changed. I think in the past, since ever management books have been written, it's been the same. The theories have been the same, and it sort of gets, management, I know, sometimes gets a little boring, because there are theories which you might not know how they are applied. It's basically like human management that you are studying.
Yeah.
Even like the way it happens in corporates also, and all of that. So that is you're studying like that. But you have to work around that. Yeah, you understand the theories, and definitely know the difference between the theories, because they also get confusing.
Yeah. There are a
But
number of,
management is a good scoring part. Management is a good scoring part.
yeah, there are a number of theories in leadership, motivation, and every year number of
Exactly,
questions
exactly.
are being asked from that. Any specific source,
Yes, yes.
any book you referred for this, or
I didn't refer to a book, but I had a collection of various notes. Now it was a very mixed bag. So what I had done is basically made a note of various theories that were there, and try to collect notes and PDFs on that and just revise that. Again, revision you will have to do because they get a bit confusing, and just to keep it in your head in the exam.
And so the RBI circulars are
Right.
also very important for this exam.
Definitely, definitely. And it's because you're going to work for that organization, and any circular that or instruction that that organization issues has a very profound impact on the entire economy and banking sector specifically. So the exam would want you to know that what is the organization doing and how are those impacts. How is that decision creating an impact over there? So and there's a lot of knowledge that can be gained from those circulars as well, because there are a lot of terms that could be mentioned in those circulars which everyone, you will not be knowing all the terms, so it's good to it's an additional knowledge that you gain from the for the exam. So very recent, like at least 6 months prior circulars and all the major circulars like the February circular, the June circular that were there, those are extremely important. And I'd also say that things like the last year there was the Jalan committee that was formed for RBI's capital framework basically. So these are very key. Even though I don't recall if a question was asked on the Jalan committee, but these committees are key. Like even for the exam for this year, a committee like that, which had taken place last year, will be very important. So the details and how that the changes that were brought about and all that.
Yeah, actually, that previous trend also, a committee is always asked in the RBI specifically
Yes.
in
Yes.
finance and
Right.
management part. Even in phase one also, sometimes committees are very
Right.
important.
Right.
So
Right.
that was it for the finance and management. Yeah, some students also ask about the some reference for the management. So I will also suggest two websites are there. So you use them or not? Like managementstudyguide.com is there. One is what is humanresource.com. So did you study from there
I
or?
did not specifically, no, I didn't use the websites because I think I was actually, once you start the preparation, you are part of all these Telegram groups and you are part of the chat groups. So it's not particularly for someone who's attempting the exam for the first time. It is not exactly easy to know, what do you have to study. So you keep on asking others, you keep on discussing. So there was a lot of collection of information there where we studied from that. I didn't study from any particular website, but there was a lot of revision and cross questioning that we used to do in the groups also. And I'd like to mention that also, as that is a very key part of any student's preparation. Please be active on all the quizzes that are happening on these Telegram chat groups. Even if they might seem your chat is getting flooded with hundreds of messages, but they are very important. They are extremely important for your revision, and even more so for candidates who are working. You might not always get the time to revise in the way, so you can just keep on participating in those groups as well.
Yeah, actually revision is the key of any exam.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, revision and the quizzes.
Right, right.
So now come to the English part. How did you prepare for the, because English is also the key in your selection. Actually, number of students get less marks in English after doing fair in the ESI and FM, but they have scored less marks in English previously. So how did you prepare, and suggestion for the aspirants?
Yes. So actually, I'd be able to comment on the descriptive part in a better way once our marks are released. So I just get an idea of how my essay was scored. But generally for English, there are two very very important rules, which I had asked my seniors also, the people who had prepared earlier. I asked them that what is the basic thing that needs to be done is, you have to keep your format very well. Definitely there are marks for content, and everyone comes up with a certain level of content, but that content has to be framed in a very specific format. It has to be done properly. And the second thing is, please don't violate the word limit. Like, try not to violate the word limit, whether in the Prezi, in the essay, or anything like that. And particularly for the essay, there were a lot of topics that we used to discuss and prepare. I didn't type out too many essays per se. There was in practicing, because the typing and all was fine, but the structure is important. That introduction, the main topic that you're giving, and then the conclusion, all that. So if someone is not comfortable in writing essays quickly, again the thing is that you may in the mains part of the exam, even though you have a lot of time, but to collect your thoughts, the moment you see those topics, the moment your thought process has to go on, and you have to start typing also there and then. So all of that has to come out very quickly. I still remember in the exam center, I am fairly good at a typing speed and collecting thoughts. But the moment the English paper came on the screen, the entire room was filled with keyboard keys. Like people already started typing. I don't know, God knows what, even before thinking about the topic. I would say that definitely give a moment for you to see which topic you have to pick and then go ahead with it.
And essay are also asked some from current topics also, I think. Essay
Yes,
topics.
yes. See, for essays, you can prepare howsoever much you might want to prepare any topic. There is a very slim chance that, I mean, there is very, very less probability that the topic that you've prepared would actually appear in the exam. There's a very, I mean, because concerning this is the monetary authority of the country and economics, finance, everything is being asked. I did not see any topic that was there from that domain. These were very generalistic, very socialistic topics that were asked, on education, on and different things like that. So you just have to, and I think producing a good essay on the spot over there is simply a collection of all your prior knowledge. Whatever you've been reading and collecting all the while, it will just show over there. Yeah.
Yes. So for English, you referred any newspaper or simply you told that business standard you were following. So
Yes, yes. I followed business standard and I stuck to that. It's got good articles. The paper itself is slightly boring to look at, but it's very, very enriched with a lot of good articles, particularly this part of it, the editorial part of it.
So now comes to the interview part. Interview part is also very important for the exam.
Yeah.
Actually, most of the students who qualified for the interview have little bit difference in the marks as per previous trends. So interview is also play a great role in your selection. Even some students have missed.
Yes, I'm
In
sure it is,
previously, some students
So,
have received less marks in interview and were out in the final selection.
right,
So
right.
that is also an important.
Yes,
So
yes, yes.
how did you prepare and what mistakes you did in the interview, if you know
Okay.
that, and what will you advise to the aspirants they should not do that? Okay.
So interview was, I think, one of the best experience in this entire examination process because for me it was the first interview I had taken such an interview for the first time for any particular government exam, and I did know that how the panel would be structured. So even all the students, we used to discuss that there would be a semicircular kind of setup where six people are sitting in front of you, and you'll be made to sit on a single sofa, and they'll be asking you simple questions. I think the chairman sits directly opposite to you, and there are a couple of people there. So starting with the preparation of the interview, the first thing I'd say that if people are, I mean, again, sir, I want to say that till I don't receive my marks for the interview, I again cannot comment how my interview was perceived by the interview panel. But since I think the interview would have helped me in getting through the final cutoff, definitely. So I'd say that the main thing is you have to project confidence in front of the panel. I mean, that's what even my parents also told me, and they're pretty experienced professionals in their own domain. That the panel will never expect a student to know everything under the sky. It is not possible that if any student sitting in front of them was able to answer all the questions, then I mean the places would have changed. The student should have been sitting in place of the interviewer, and the other way around. So that is not the agenda. The agenda is not to know all the answers. The thing is to, number one, definitely project confidence, and number two, don't try to fudge things. Don't try to fake things and give them fake answers, because since there are six people sitting around there would be experts from their own respective domains, and they'll cover the major domains that the students come from. Like you've got engineers also, you've got finance people, you've got banking people, and all of those are there. So they will cover the entire domain. So if you try to work your way around it, it's not going to happen. There's always an option that if you blatantly do not know an answer, you're completely blank on it, be honest and tell them that. that, so I'm not able to recall because one of my as you were saying, that one of the mistakes that I would avoid is that I'm an bachelor's in economics. So the second question that was fired to me in the interview was that, so and so economist has so and so theory. What are your thoughts about it? So in that point of time where you have so much of pressure sitting in that room, it became a bit difficult for me to recall. I was scared of the fact that I might start talking about some other economist, some other theory, and this guy is looking for some other answer. So I just told them, sir, I know what the theory is, but I am not able to recall the minute details of it. So that was one thing I completely, and I at that point of time actually I thought that that went in a very negative light for me because they were expecting if you're a bachelor's in economics, you would know said theory definitely. So that was one negative point for me. And otherwise, they did ask a lot about my work experience, and I mean, they were trying to link various things. Like even from the banking sector, there were questions. There were questions on risk, on finance, and all of that. So yeah, but the interview experience was definitely it has the main thing is you have to keep your nerves very calm because they will try to hassle you. They will, and the more experienced the candidate would be, it's one thing to be a fresher out of college and taking the interview. If you're an experienced candidate, you have some kind of work experience, you have, some additional certifications and degrees, they will try to grill you even more because they expect that, okay, this guy is going to, is capable of answering that. So it is very important that you keep your nerves intact at that point of time.
Yeah. Do you have any gap between your studies and your job?
Yeah, so no, I think no, the gap was after my graduation, I worked for a total of 3 years, and then after that, around 2019 end, I left my job. So there was a gap in my working basically. There wasn't a gap in my education. I would say there was a gap in my work experience. So they did ask about that as well. Why why did you actually take this gap? So it was, I tried to explain to them, there were multiple exams which I wanted to tackle at once, and it would not have been easy, working in wherever I was previously working in my hectic job. So they were fine with that.
Yeah, many aspirants used to ask that if they have gap, it will impact their performance in the interview. I don't
Yeah.
think so if you are genuinely replying.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. No, definitely, because there'll be so many students who've taken attempts of other exams, multiple attempts. Like UPSC
Yeah.
students have, I think, this biggest fear that what would the interview panel perceive them, because they've just been sitting and studying and attempting exams. So I think the panel is ready for that. They know that all kinds of students will be appearing for such an interview.
So that was
Um,
for interview, and
and definitely, I'd say that do try to attend, if possible, do try to attend one or two mock interviews as well. I mean, like you had conducted one. I remember you had conducted one mock interview with where a gentleman from SBI was there who helped us out. So that was very helpful for me, and I had taken actually 2 to 3 mock interviews. So it helps you to frame your answers, even though you might have your answer in your head. Like let's say, the basic question is, why do you want to join the Reserve Bank of India? So your question will be in your head. You might have written that question down also, but when the person is sitting across you, how it comes out is a different way.
yeah,
So it is good to rehearse that couple of times as well.
it also
All the
helps.
basic questions, like the standard questions that they might ask, why did you leave your previous organization? Why do you want to join here? What are the various, and definitely have a good idea of the Reserve Bank, because they will want you to know that, like where all is it there. Have a fair idea of what kind of departments are also there. What work actually goes on. You should have a fair idea of that.
Yeah, that's it for the interview part. Yeah, now any suggestion for the aspirants who are preparing for the next year exam from your side? What
Yes.
should they do? Any?
Yes. So I think this exam is it is pretty much, it is achievable. There is no doubt about that. The only daunting, why does it become a very daunting experience, is because of the limited number of seats and the number of students who want to take the exam. that ratio, selection ratio, even I also got very hassled when I started my preparation. That this is something which is, the odds are very against you. I mean, with like any other government exam also, even in this, the odds are completely against you. So, but the thing is that don't keep that factor in your mind. If you start off with that mindset and you let that thought stay with you, that the odds are against me, then there's no point even attempting the entire thing. And definitely is to keep your strengths in place. Work on your strengths and try to keep the weak areas also, but have the strengths properly in place. Particularly for phase one, like what kind of questions do you want to attempt? What kind of questions do you definitely just don't want to look at also? For phase one, you should know the kind of questions that I don't even want to try that. So just skip off and go to the questions that you are strong in. So that those kind of strategies need to be developed surely. And for phase two also, I think I would suggest that don't try too much of guesswork, because the options, even in this time in the exam, they were pretty close, and it can make or break. So don't do too much of guesswork in this.
Yeah, also that most of the aspirants come to us and ask this question that they are from non-finance background. That is a negative point, or
Yes.
you already tell that, and previously also many engineers and many persons who are from non-finance background have been selected in RBI. So that is a complete myth. If you are working hard, then
yeah, that's a complete myth.
and
Definitely,
in
that's a complete
RBI,
myth.
in this RBI grade B, ESI and FM, questions are being asked of general IQ level,
Yes,
not in
yes,
depth, so
exactly.
everyone can easily learn and can crack the exam who are from non-finance background also. So
Right.
that's it for the today.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you Akshay for, and
Okay.
good luck for your
Pleasure to
new
be here, sir.
journey. Yeah,
Yes,
thank you. It will
definitely.
really
Thank you so much.
help. It will really help the aspirants who are preparing for the exam. Thank you.
Yes, I'm glad to know that. Thank you. Thank you, sir.